What's better than a Hallmark movie? It's a Hallmark book, especially written by local author Emily Murray. Today we're talking about Alexandria Fire, Dani and Danny. Hello everyone, welcome to Pen to Paper. I'm Leah. Today I'm doing a single video review on local author friend of mine, her new release, Alexandria Fire, Dani and Danny. From what I know, this is the first in a series of 4 books, each set in different seasons. This one, as you might be able to tell right here, is set during Christmas, but that doesn't mean you can't read it even now. It is a cozy Hallmark romance type of novel that was really easy to go through, and the characters were delightful. The setting, well, let's just say it feels very close to home, with a small country town and country surroundings, which is where I live. So this was kind of fun to read through in that sense. You know, there's some misunderstandings, miscommunication that leads to severe heartbreak, and then there's the stirring moment at the end of the book, and the characters, well, I'm not going to say what happens to them, but I did say this was like a Hallmark story, right? That's kind of indicative of what does happen. But let's just get into the novel, Dani and Danny. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Danny with an I for the female protagonist, and then just Danny for the male protagonist, which is the regular D-A-N-N-Y spelling for a male name. But let's get into it. So Danny is a kindergarten teacher, young grade teacher who moves to this small little town in Alexandria, and she's just there for a year because she is not running away from, she's dealt with a lot of what she had to deal with, but she's taking a break, mental health break from all that heartbreak that has been happening back in her hometown in Toronto. And she has taken up a post at the local school and is really enjoying her job. And as I said, it's a very temporary post, just a year, and then she's heading back. And then we have Danny, the firefighter, who is fixing up his grandparents' home. They've died, and it's passed on to him. He also has a sister, and he's there fixing it up. And so what happens one day, Hallmark and coffee, they always seem to go hand in hand, but these two characters order coffee, and because both of their names are Danny, spelled differently, Danny with an I receives Danny's coffee, and Danny receives Danny's with an I's coffee. This is going to be really interesting to talk about. And so, funny enough, she's more of a straight coffee girl, and he's more of a, sprinkle latte cinnamon type of guy. And, but what happens is she sparks fly, they meet, they begin to date, even though that wasn't the intention of either of them. Danny, male protagonist, is also reeling from a heartbreak that he has suffered. But they're both drawn to each other. They're both charming. They're both a little quirky. They are both just looking for, they find in each other someone that they could be themselves with, someone that they could have a nice time with. But their relationship does go deeper as Danny with an I meets Danny's family, and his sister's getting married, and she gets roped into doing wedding dress shopping. So it all moves pretty quickly. Except Danny with an I hasn't exactly told Danny what she has left Toronto, the reason why she left Toronto. And unfortunately, this reason is very, very important to Danny because of the heartbreak he went through. And when he finds out that she has kept this information from him, he blows up. He's very, very sensitive about all this, and there's a break. And when that break is happening, she goes back to Toronto for Christmas with her friend. She is also trying to navigate her messy relationship with her parents, or not messy, but let's say very tense relationship, and dealing with an upcoming divorce there. And Danny finds himself in a life and death situation involving horses. It was a very great scene. It was actually probably one of my favorite scenes in the whole book, is the firefighters rescuing horses that fell into a frozen river creek, but deep enough that it's very dangerous for the horses. And of course, you know, maybe if it were dogs, it wouldn't like tug at my heartstrings so much, but it's horses. Like it was very tense and emotional. And I'm so glad that the horses were okay. But that puts Danny in the hospital, and then Danny with an eye finds out, and I won't say if they get together or not at the end, but it is Hallmark, you know what I mean? So, this read was great. I think I gave it 5 stars. It's wholesome, it's flows easy, it's conversational, it's a great cozy read. So if you like coffee, warm sweaters, sit on the couch, binge read in one night, like a Hallmark movie, this is the perfect book for you to read, and highly, highly suggest Alixandria Fire, Dani and Danny. This is a great book to give to your mother, to your grandmother, to anybody who just likes a sweet romance. And it's all behind closed doors romance, so nothing overtly sexual. The two characters do have that intimacy, but it's never written about in detail. And that's kind of really nice that, you know, that sweetness is kind of kept in. You know, we don't need to know everything that's happening behind doors to feel the passion and the excitement that these characters feel for each other. So that's a great part as well. Dani and Danny, Alixandria Fire. It's a great, wonderful female read. I mean, I'm sure some men might enjoy it too, but as I said, it's Hallmark like all over it. And it's Christmassy. If you like Christmas stories, it's also a great one too. So, Emily Murray, congratulations on your latest novel. This is amazing. Pick it up, guys. It's great.